I didn't hear it make the noise, but it says we're live. So I think we are good.
Okay.
All right, we are going to give everybody just a few minutes to hop on, but in the meantime, I have posted the link in your team pages, and I also have that same thread is going to be used for any kind of questions that you guys might have throughout. Carly, if we have a little bit of time at the end, if that's okay, if we can just ask a couple questions maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I know that this kind of weird time in the middle of the day is hard for a lot of people to get on. So we appreciate those of you who are hopping on live. And we appreciate everyone who really takes the time out of their day to share these with their teams as well. So if you have a team who cannot listen live, remember that this same live link will be your recorded link for you to hop on after the call is over as well. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our speaker today. And we have our very own Carly Wood on with us today. Carly is one of my coaches, and she will probably tell a little bit about her story. But she was one who it took a few months for her to dive in, but once she did, she has just gone after it, and she is now a Success Club legend. She is official 9-star diamond, which happened last week, so no big deal. And she's just doing amazing things. She founded Be Misfit, and just super proud of all of that she is doing in her own business and all that she does to help out our team. So she is going to be talking a lot about kind of pushing past your fears and really going for things in the business. And I'm looking forward to taking notes myself. So with that being said, Carly, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, you guys, I'm so excited to be on this call with you talking about this topic. I'm going to share my screen, Nikki, and then let's see.
I'm trying to mute myself.
Okay. Am I good? Yeah? Okay. All right. So like Nikki had said, I like to share a little bit about this before coaching, because I remember as a newer coach or a coach who had, just been getting started, I would see other coaches and I would forget that they had a day 1 too. So we all come in this the same. We all have fears. We all come in this with a story. We all come in this, with our own different backgrounds, different self-worth, all that stuff. So before I started coaching, I had actually lost my best friend in a boating accident, a boat that I was supposed to be on. I had a job that I really hated. And because of that accident, I suffered with a lot of depression, anxiety, questions, things like that. And then like Nikki said, I signed up as a coach, and I actually sat for 2 months and didn't do anything but look at this computer and probably cry to Sean. So I was also full of self-doubt. I didn't come into this business the coach that I am today. A lot of this happened by growth and doing some of the things that I'm going to talk about today. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is really take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. I want you guys to know that you're not alone. Every single coach, every single person on this team, on this journey, has been where you're at some point. Maybe you're stressed. Maybe you're overwhelmed. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough time. You're not good enough. You're never going to get there. Maybe you're like me and you're paralyzed with fear. Whatever it is, you've got to realize that you're not alone. This was a huge turning point for me. Even as a leader, sometimes I still feel like, oh my God, I must be the only coach who's ever gone through this feeling or gone through this situation. And I just want you guys to know you're not alone. We've all been there, okay? So if you're anything like me, before coaching, I think on the daily, I would ask myself, who am I? What is my purpose? What am I doing with my life? Oh my God, I think I hounded my family with that question more times than they can, even care to count. But what I found was Beachbody was the answer to all of that. If you're a newer coach or you're someone who's fallen off the wagon, I want you guys to know that Beachbody can seriously, coaching can serve that purpose to fulfill anything that you are looking for in your life. You have got to just open your mind, open your heart, and really be willing to put yourself out there and be all in with this journey, because I swear, you guys, it is so life-changing, and it can do more for your life than I could do a whole team call on that. So let me just move on. What I'm going to do is share a few tips with you guys, a few different things. Then I'm going to do a little exercise at the end. And then, Nikki, you can ask questions when we're done. All right, so hang on. I want you guys to first off, stop chasing perfect. I love this. Choose your purpose over perfect, okay? Choose purpose over perfect. All perfect is something that we have created in our mind based on what our families have said, based on what society has said, based on some image that does not exist. You guys, there is no such thing as perfect. And when we're chasing perfect, we are measuring up to some sort of standard. Like I said, we are comparing our worth with someone else's. It makes us believe that we'll never be content, we'll never be enough, we'll always just be average. You know, it makes us believe that we'll never be successful. So stop chasing that perfect. I want you guys to crush your shoulds. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I should. I mean, that just like weighs me down, you know, all the shoulds. Let that go. And then just know you were created for a purpose, you guys. We are all unique individuals. We were all created on this earth with a gift that each of us only possesses on our own. And that gift is our purpose. So allow yourself to believe that you were created for more. Okay, exchange your fear for faith. I love this. Okay, you've got to meet your fear. What are you afraid of? And I want you guys to really ask yourself that. Like, what is it that you're afraid of? A lot of times, like me, I thought it was, what are people going to think? Other fears that I've heard are, who's going to join my challenge group? I'm not diamond yet, or making X amount of money a week yet. I'm going to fail. I'm not good enough. This is outside my comfort zone. I'm not at my goal weight. Everything has to be perfect before I start. I'm afraid of success. You guys, I have heard and you know, thought about this one a lot. I'm afraid of success. A lot of times we don't even realize we're afraid of success. But why it scares us is because we feel like we have to look a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way when we're successful. So we fear that because we fear like we won't ever measure up to that. We're not good enough. So really identify what your fear is. For me, it was, I'm not diamond, or I'm not emerald. I'm not making $50 a week yet. You know, that was the fear that I felt like I couldn't talk about this opportunity with others because I wasn't there yet. And what I did was, I love this, faith it till you make it, okay? I put my faith in that. What is possible when I put my faith behind that fear? Okay, well, if Katie Flynn, Nikki Whiting, Stephanie Chico, if all of them can do it, then I got to have faith in myself, unwavering faith in myself that I can do it too, okay? So you guys have to turn your fear into something faithful, okay? And after this call, I want you guys to take 5 minutes to do something that you are afraid of. So imagine Nikki is at Super Saturday or Summit, and you know, she says, I need 5 people to come up and share your story. If your gut instinct in your heart says me, and you don't raise your hand within the first 3 seconds, you ain't sharing your story. You ain't going up there because your brain, your head is going to start to get in your way. So I've given you 5 minutes. That's a lot of time. Don't wait till 4 minutes and 55 seconds to do this. The coaches who are going to take this seriously and who are going to take 5 minutes after this call to do something you're afraid of, to identify that fear and tackle it, are the coaches that are serious about this and are the coaches that want to make a change. So, you know, in the thread that Nikki posted or in your Uplines team page, I want you guys to write down the fear that you faced, okay? We can all hold each other accountable to that. All right, number 3, replacing the lies. Your lies are what you're made of, you guys. And this is so, so true. what I learned was deep down, no matter what I'm saying to myself, it doesn't matter if it has something to do with my team, being a mom, cleaning the house, whatever, it doesn't matter. I am not good enough is always the root of my lie, okay? So figure out what that lie is for you. Maybe it's you're never going to be successful. You're destined to fail. You know, why would anyone want to join your team? You're not blank enough. Maybe you're not skinny enough. You're not pretty enough. I don't know. Whatever it is, you guys, like, identify that lie. And then you have to replace it with your truth. Anytime you find yourself in that headspace, and it's all the time. It happens to me, like, when I'm walking the dogs, when I'm in the shower, when I'm cleaning, when I'm doing a call. Like, our minds are full of constant chatter, and that chatter, 9 times out of 10, it ain't positive chatter. It ain't, it's not like, Carly, you're awesome, you got this, girl. That's not the chatter that we hear. So if we're not aware, if we're not present to what we are saying to ourselves on the daily, then we're not going to get to where we want to be, because the stuff that we tell ourselves is the stuff that we create in our own life. So if you want more passion, more oomph, more dedicated leaders on your team, then you have to believe that truth in yourself before that's going to happen. You can't sit there and say, I'm not good enough, and then want baller leaders on your team. It doesn't work that way. You know, so what is your truth? You've got to replace those lies. Right. Sorry. Take a sip. All right, number 4, you've got to decide with an unwavering amount of heart and faith and soul that you can do this. You have to believe in the possibilities before you can even see them, you guys. You have to believe in everything that this journey can offer. You have to believe in yourself so much that you're not leaving any room for failure. And what that looks like is having 2 feet in. None of this 1 foot in. Is it the water cold? Is it hot today? Oh, if I do it for 1 or 2 months and it doesn't work out, then I can always back out and I only wasted $40. No, you cannot go into this with that mindset or you will fail, okay? You've got to have 2 feet in, diving, headstand, whatever, into the pool, however you want to look at it, all in. And I love this, you guys. You've got to lead while you're learning. I hear so many coaches say that they have to know everything, or I can't dive in because I don't know this or that yet. You guys, if we were all know-it-alls, then none of us should be coaching. Like, let's be real. We are all always learning all the time. So you've got to lead while you're learning. We have more resources than we can even imagine in the back office, in the team pages. I mean, Google has made me the smartest person on earth. So you guys got to lead while you're learning. Use your resources. And I swear, you guys, without any doubt and any unwavering faith, whatever you want to call it, in my mind, if I can do this, any of you guys can. If any top coach, if anyone you look up to in this business can do it, you can too. The only difference between them and you is they found their belief in themselves and they let go of these fears. If your fears are driving your bus, that's why you're looking to other people and wishing that you could do it too. They got off the fear bus and they started driving the I can, I will, decided that they could do it bus, you know? Okay, so fear and failure is your fertilizer. I love this. Failure is just your opportunity to grow and learn and to give to your team. Okay, when you fail, that's just an opportunity to fail forward and grow, you guys. So many of the failures that have happened with me, I've been able to work through with my team. For example, you know, I might have a PS coach or someone in the downline who's going through a situation that I had went through. And by using my failure or what I went through, I can teach my team what I learned. So once you start to look at failure, instead of fearing it, once you start to look at it as a tool to grow, as a tool to catapult you forward, as a tool to give back to your team, you are going to change your mindset around failure. And a lot of times that's one of our biggest fears, is failure. And anytime one door closes, another opens. So don't look at one door closing like a failure. You might have like 5 no's before that 6th person says yes. You might have 5 no's and then all 5 of those no's are in your next challenge group next month. You know, always look at the door as being open whenever it closes. And then fear is the opportunity for us to look at things differently. I love this because if you just take your fear and you turn it into your truth, or you turn it into a positive, or you take it and you just wrap your mind around it and you look at it differently instead of letting it drive you, you are going to just catapult through all of this, and you're just going to find that belief in yourself if you're able to look at this and look at your fear differently. Okay. So just a little recap. Stop chasing perfect. Meet your fear, identify it, decide with unwavering faith that you can do this. I want you guys to let it go. Let go of your past. Let go of the future, because that hasn't even been decided yet, and that's not for us to decide. So let go of that, and just be here. What can you control right now? What can you control today? You know, letting all that stuff go. Leap into your faith and what matters. Hang on. You guys, when you dive into what matters and you lead from your heart, that's when everything changes, you know? When you lead with faith, and I don't mean if you're not religious, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean like faith, like just having a blind faith, like knowing that it's attainable before you even get there. When you leap into that and when you lead with what matters to you, you're going to be unstoppable. And then make room for grace and failures. I think grace sounds a little better than failures. So make room for grace, you know that, be gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself like you would your best friend. Talk to yourself like a coach on your team. Be gentle with yourself, you guys. Stop running yourself over and you know, telling yourself all this negative stuff. Make room for grace in your heart. Clear the clutter. Oh my gosh, clear that. Clear the comparison, you guys. You got to clear all that stuff because it will run your business and it will run your life. Get rid of it. Set purposeful goals. All right. I love setting goals. And also I love setting purposeful goals. You know, maybe it's a team goal. Maybe it's a goal around something that is hard for you, a challenge. Set it with purpose and intention and get after it. So take that action. And then you guys, when you lead with encouraging others, like really encouraging others, like giving others your heart and just believing in them before they believe in themselves, that is like a huge shift in this business. And when you do that, those fears really start to crumble on their own because you're sitting there encouraging others and you know if they can do it, then you can do it too. So lead with all of that. And then I got two more things. Tips on moving past your fear. So these are a few things that I've done that have worked, and you might find one that works great for you. You might find one that you think is silly, whatever. But you can write down your fears and then cross them out or crumble up the paper. Our mind really likes it when we take an action behind it, okay? So it's not just enough to say, okay, I don't fear that anymore. I'm moving on, I'm great. Like our mind associates an action behind it. So you can do the whiteboard tool. You can write down all your fears, all your negative statements, and then erase them. And you're starting with a clean slate. You're starting with a fresh whiteboard. Our mind like attaches to that. Start each day with a positive exercise. I love the 2, 3, maybe it's 4-minute video of Tony Robbins and on the Oprah special. I love starting my day each day with that. Sets the tone for my day. It's a little bit easier, I tell myself, to do that than meditate in the morning because I just want to go back to bed. So find something that you can start your day with that works for you. Also, one thing that I love is cutting the cords. And again, y'all might think some of this is like weird stuff, but it's really, really worked for me. So what I mean by cutting the cords, again, it's an action that our brain associates things with. So I literally like take my hands in front of me and like pretend like I'm cutting this little cord. And so it might be like a negative interaction I had with somebody. It might be somebody saying no. It might be some jerk who cut me off in traffic. I don't know. Could be anything. I just kind of cut the cords and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to carry that crap with me through the rest of my day. I'm not going to let that, you know, it's like putting it on your shoulder. I don't know, whatever movement you want to do. I like moving my hands, obviously. So cutting the cords, you know, works really good for me. And then meditating, obviously personal development, you guys, that is key to growing your business. And then manifestation, I love all three of those together. But find something that personal development that is good for you. It doesn't have to be what everyone else is doing. You know, find something that's going to help you grow. And then, excuse me, I love bridging the gap, and I'm going to talk about that on the next slide. And then let go of I need. Oh my God, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need. I mean, guys, that just like wears me down saying it. Like my shoulders are heavy. I need. You are perfect just the way you are. You don't need to be anything before you get somewhere. You have all you need within you. You just have to believe it, and you've got to let those fears go. All right, so my last little thing is bridging the gap. And this is an exercise that I've done that has changed my life. And I can do like another call or get specific on it, but I just wanted to touch on it really quick. So bridging the gap, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your top values. I just did some examples here, like communication, connection, honesty, integrity, passion, leadership. And you're going to take those values and you're going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Chances are, if they're your top values, they're going to be like an 8, 9, or a 10. So you're going to write that number next to them. Then on the right-hand side, you're going to rate where those values in line with yourself. So communication with yourself might be an 8. Communication with your family might be a 2. Communication in your relationship might be a 3. Communication with your team might be a 10. You're going to do the same thing with connection, integrity, or whatever your values are. And the idea is to look at the other side and where you need to bridge that gap. So if you say communication is an 8 for you, and on the right-hand side with your team, it's at a 2, what can you do to bridge that communication gap? What can you do to bridge the connection gap, the honesty gap, and relationship? Like, this has changed my relationship with my dad, with my family. I love it. I don't want you guys to like go and say, I learned bridging the gap and we got to work on communication or something. Like I said, I can do another call, share some tips with you guys on it. But this is something that I love doing weekly, monthly, anytime I need it. Like, it's like a kind of like a where am I at check, and like passion, leadership, integrity, honesty, all those in the business. Like, it's kind of like a gut check-in. Where am I at? It's a 10 on my values, but ooh, right now I'm at a 2. Like, I need to get that passion back. I need to get that fire back. What do I need to do to bridge that gap? Because when we live and align life, like when we align our values in every area of our life, there is no room for fear. There is no room for failure. We are aligned with all the things that we believe in every aspect of our life. So I challenge you guys to, take just a quick snapshot of where you're at right now, bridging the gap. And I don't want you guys to judge it. It's not good, bad, right, or wrong, wherever you're at. It's just it's like a compass for a map. It's just showing you where you can grow, what areas you can, water and grow so you can align all your values in all areas of your life. And with that being said, always turn your mess into your message. I love that. So I wanted to end with that.
I love that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, am I still sharing?
Yeah.
You're good? Okay.
Those were so good, and I'm glad that we had the slides. Do you have those, like, where you could upload it into the files?
Yeah, okay. I think there was like 2 or 3 spellings, but
okay. 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 Well, I wrote down a few things because I feel like no matter how long we're in the business, and I think honestly, the longer you're in the business, the more you kind of need a pep talk. And I think it's important to talk about how it doesn't matter if I'm 3 years in the business or I just started, I still have fear. My fears may be different than they first were, but they're still fears and they're very real. And they're things that we have to overcome all the time. And a lot of them are the shoulds. And I liked how you said crush the shoulds, because a lot of times I'll make a list of what I should be doing. And then I save the things that I hate for last. And then if I run out of time, I'm like, oh, well, I just didn't get to it. So what I really try to do is the things I really don't want to do, I do first. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of go from there and work through the list. And then just leading while you're learning, I think, was so huge, because, you don't have to be this 10-star diamond coach to feel like a leader. You don't need to be a diamond coach to be a leader. Wow. You are always going to be learning. I mean, Carly will write me sometimes, or other people will write me and say, hey, how do I blah, 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 or what's your tip on this, or how did I just figure this out in the back office? And I'm like, I didn't know that either, or I don't know the answer either. Like, let's look it up, because we're always learning. So don't be afraid to feel like you can still lead a significant team and really grow your business while you're learning. And that kind of just goes with jumping and kind of learning to fly on the way down, type of mentality. So I really, really love that. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. I feel like, I don't know if anybody has questions. I don't have any questions on the thread yet. They may pop up later, but I appreciate it. If you have specific books that you enjoy, like that kind of touch on that topic, if you could post those in that thread, I think that that would be helpful for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And yeah, I think that it's important for us to just kind of realize that the fears are what's going to push us past in our business. If we're doing the comfortable all the time, we're not going to be growing, and we're not going to expand the way that we want to. So to constantly just be putting ourselves out there. And that's a reminder for myself as well, is you get in the business for a while and you forget to stop sharing your transformation. You forget to keep sharing your story of your struggles in the beginning, because people only see where you are now, and you're going to relate to more people when you are talking about those beginning struggles, because they're so much more relatable. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, Nikki, the more you start to do the scarier things first, the more they become less fearful,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of times sending messages to people is something that's really scary, no matter like what you're sending it about. And so I think if you start with those, then you start to not feel like they're such a burden. They're just kind of your everyday activity.
And if you're leading with that faith and that heart and what matters to you, then you're not salesy. Like, I get that all the time. I don't want to be salesy. But if you're leading with intention, with intentional purpose, then you're not being salesy. So, yeah.
I mean, if you're sharing your own journey, and that's what I tell a new coach, is like, you jump in with this, you need to have your own vision. You need to have your own goals. You need to have everything you're working on, because that's what inspires people. You can in no way encourage other people to get started and stay on this right path, or you should be doing this, this, and this, if you're not doing it yourself. So starting with you for sure is a big part of it. But anyways, thank you, Carly, for this. I appreciate your time today and hopping on with us and giving us all of your wisdom. And for all of you who could not get on live, again, this link that we have now is going to also be your link for the recording if you want to pass this along to your teams. But anyways, you guys have a great afternoon. And again, thank you, Carly, for getting on with us.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Bye, y'all.